Gather round, flock. It is time for another episode of the BHHcast. I am Jamie Bendel, joined by Jamie Hernan and Adam Haig.
Bah. Welcome, sheep.
Hello, sheep. All right, we're going to talk about how you actually call sheep. Maybe not today, but eventually. Do have some interesting content for you this episode. Have you ever thought about which bunk you might prefer? Should you find yourself in prison? We help answer that question. In addition, special guest, we call him mystery guest this time around, Instagram influencer, manager.
Father. All of the above.
All of the above. So you want to hang in for the entire episode and don't wander too far.
There's some good Spencer's gift stuff in there, too.
Oh, well, yes. Also, we cover a little shout out to the unkillable retail megaplex that is Spencer Gifts.
Never dies.
And I always want to say novelties, although it is not part of the official Spencer's name. All right, stay tuned. Check it out. This is the BHHcast.
Enjoy, sheep.
All right, welcome back. I am Jamie Bendel. I am joined by Jamie. Actually, I wanted to we had an error on the description of Jamie's last name last go around.
We did.
Yeah.
It's not
Did
Hernan.
we resolve it?
It's not Hernan.
Is the R a hard R or a soft R?
Hernan.
Everything about me is hard.
Oh,
Hey.
snap. Yeah. And yeah, okay. Is there anyone else in the podcast? Because I think there's a third guy who
Well, you
hasn't
jumped
been
in
introduced
for the
yet.
clarification. I was
Yeah.
getting to your introduction.
Okay.
If we could focus more on my name, though.
No, I really like the part with Jamie question mark and then I was about to give it. So go ahead, hit me with the big.
Can I ask, what is a hard R?
No,
What's a
I'd like to
soft
hear
R?
what my name sounds like
How does
when
my
you
name
introduce
sound
me.
like with a soft R?
Or not?
Well, it's a silent R. There are some languages in which the R is silent.
Heenan?
Yeah, but there are times where it gets into, and I've had this happen to me. I have to own the initial error that I make in someone's name because it's forever on how they're in my phone. Their email contact information is wrong. You just got to own it at some point. You've never had that?
Where you've gotten the wrong name for a long period of time?
I made a mistake and I've had to live with the mistake as though it was some sort of intentional thing.
Okay, solid.
Like you had a
So,
friend
like,
named Tony that you referred to as Steve for years.
Years.
And eventually he's like, I don't want to bring this up
Listen.
now. It's a little embarrassing. My name's Tony.
I have done it where I know the introduction gets made to another person, and then I'm like, oh my God, I've been calling you Kevin forever.
remember that third guy on the podcast?
Yeah, okay. All right. Jamie Bendel, Jamie Heenan.
Wait a minute, before you get to that,
It's
I
not
just want
Heenan,
to.
I don't
Heard
think.
Yeah, I'd like to focus on my name more. And also, is there, I don't want to say a statute of limitations, but is there squatter's rights at a point after you've called someone Kevin for 3 years?
You own Kevin?
Right. Are
Yeah.
you just allowed to call them Kevin
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah.
Not amused.
My confirmation name was Kevin.
What
Was
is
it?
Yeah, it took
the
Kevin.
third guy's
I literally
name?
claimed it.
Third guy,
Adam
Terry
Haig.
Elliott.
Terry. So here's it is. We have a B. We have two H's. I think we should be the BHHcast.
Bah.
BHHcast.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's easy.
BHHcast.
BHHcast. Hey, did you check out the BHHcast?
Yeah, it sounds like podcast,
Sounds like podcast,
but it's a podcast.
but it could be entirely about
podcast.
sheep.
It's
Wait.
a podcast.
wait, podcast?
Yeah.
Because of our physiques?
Not a bod. Not a bod.
Okay.
Ba.
Bah.
Bah.
Are we spelling that BHH?
BHH. Bah.
Cast.
No, you're not. You're denigrating.
Oh, Bahcast.
Podcast.
Bahcast. BHHcast. BHHcast?
This is mute. Okay, thank you. The BHHcast.
Not the Baha'i. We're not. It's not a religious.
Bah.
No.
Bah.
Can we just do
Nagina,
listeners
bah,
are
ha,
no,
Nagina.
so listen, I have this all set up. The people who are the subscribers and the listeners, there are sheep.
This is great.
We are the shepherds.
I love it.
It's the podcast.
I love it. And
Bah.
just one episode
All right,
on
sheep.
Baha'i, just in case.
It's weird
We can.
though because
We wanna-
you have the B in Bendel. You have the H in Hernan. But who's the third guy at
It's
this?
not
Adam
Elliot.
Haig, we said
It's not
that.
Elliot.
No, I don't think we did.
Yeah, I said it twice.
Okay, so Adam Haig. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Adam Haig.
Hey.
Putting the H in Ba.
He's the. You guys can decide who's the last H, who's the first H. I mean, that's up to you guys.
I'll be the last H.
No. No, over my dead body.
No,
Hey,
I called
speaking
it.
of which,
You got hump.
What
got
did you
middle seat.
do with the sign outside your old office? Every time I drive to the new office, I drive by the location of the old office, and I miss the sign.
Well, so they have this rule: when you stop paying rent and you move out after a year, they make you take the sign.
But you
off.
didn't keep the sign? Did you keep the sign?
No.
Was it a sign or was it just letters?
It was a sign, but it was pretty high up, and it would have involved me having to get out a
No,
ladder.
I thought it was great.
Whoa, you just threw it away? Or you just somebody destroyed it?
I think I just left it there.
And someone they just took it
It's
down.
no longer there now.
Yeah, I think I just left it there.
Yeah.
Wow, that seems like
I
a
mean,
big
it was
chapter
great
in your
real
life.
estate. Right as you're leaving the QT, waiting
Right.
turn, boom, looking right at you.
Yep. Yeah, it worked out wonderfully for me.
So your last name is Hernan?
Hernan,
Yes, it is.
Okay.
the BHHcast.
I love it. Podcast.
Yes.
Welcome,
What up, sheep? Welcome to the podcast. We are your shepherds,
Yes.
guiding you through the crazy issues that are facing you in life.
I still think you're saying podcast.
It's Podcast.
It's supposed to sound like that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
The BHHcast.
Because we're in such good shape.
I'm Adam Haig, your second H in Ba.
Oh, gosh,
Cast.
that doesn't sound good. You should try middle H. Try that again.
I can't even do a middle H. Is that like an octave lower?
Can we spell it with two H's? And I don't really want to be
Stack
on
'em?
top of. Are you top or bottom? If we're the
oh,
podcast.
bunk bed your H's.
Yes,
bunk
we're
them up.
bunk bedding the
Definitely.
H's.
Bunk 'em.
I'm the
I'm-
top bunk H.
Vertical B, horizontal H's.
Yeah, Adam's the middle H.
Yeah, I'm a top, you're a bottom.
Boom.
All right, podcast.
The
Podcast.
BHHcast.
That's great.
I mean, it took like 2 seconds to resolve that.
Really good.
That is really good. I'm very, very happy with that.
Constant
Anyhow,
heavy-
sheep, welcome back to the
Welcome
podcast.
back, sheep. Where my sheep at?
What's up, sheep?
What's up, sheeples?
Can we put the H in front of the B, and
Nope.
then
Ruins the
the
whole thing.
other
I don't
H
think
in
if-
front of the H?
Ruins the whole thing.
You're not, No, it doesn't work at all.
I mean, we're calling it the podcast, so
No, we're
pronunciation
calling
is
it
out the
ba,
window.
Not the bod.
The ba.
The ba.
It's the podcast. We are the shepherds.
So anyhow, sheep,
I think
welcome.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a good intro. It felt good, but I just.
You want me to
I
do it
feel-
again?
No,
I'll
no.
go again. I'll
yeah,
go
I
one
do.
more time. I'll give you another
I
one.
do. I just feel like we're ignoring the rules of vowels.
Like, I don't know that we're ignoring rules of vowels. We did forget a little bit the rule of introductions, which says name everybody at the table, but forget that. It's cool.
All right,
I mean,
so-
I get it. You did say it later, but now, I mean, we were.
Bendel, do the introduction
Hernan
again.
talked for a long time before.
Right.
Yeah.
Do the introduction again. If you get tired after the first two names, go ahead.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Later.
Here's what I'm going to say. Don't do it again. If you're listening to today's podcast, next podcast, we're going to do it another way. We're
different
going to
way.
have another intro
Yeah.
for you. Yeah. It may not be the same way. Probably won't, because we'll probably mention me
Could mention you.
as the second H.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
I thought you were going to be middle H. You weren't taking middle
No.
H?
Yeah, he did
Top
say
bunk,
middle age.
Second
Oh,
H.
top bunk. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Top bunk, second H.
All right, so that raises an interesting question. Do you feel like, were you to be in prison, you'd actually care about which bunk you were on?
Yes. I would want to be on the top bunk.
Definite top bunk.
And what's the rationale behind being top bunk in prison?
One, I think if we ever get jumped, it's harder to get to me on the top bunk than it is to get to the bottom bunk guy. As a bottom bunk guy, you're already basically have very few options as far as escape. You're basically in a cave.
Right, I think you're space within a space.
Yeah, you're space within a space. And so
And I think I would want space within a space.
solid, but now I have the entire between me and the ceiling, which I'm going to assume is actually probably better than the area that the bottom bunk has to the second bunk.
Vaulted ceilings in prison. I mean,
They don't do that anymore.
No. In fact, most times when they list prison dimensions, they very rarely include height.
Really?
Yeah, it's a 6x6 cell. It's not 6x6x6 cell.
Well, how do they fit the coffered ceilings?
They don't do coffered ceilings. There's no recessed lighting.
Whoa. So how big is the second bunk? Is it like kissing the
I'm
ceiling?
saying it could be. It could be.
Because that gets a little creepy.
Okay,
If it's real
here's my
tight.
other question. Have you ever seen a prison movie where the guy in the top bunk escapes? No, it's always the bottom bunker that digs his way out. Top bunker is left there, obviously open and exposed. Top bunk in it, trying to dig a hole at the ceiling.
I mean, the problem is you got to really dig down further.
You got to dig down further.
You got to basically make up the 6 feet already.
I'm assuming
Maybe you can go up.
I'm digging into a shaft of some kind.
Yeah. I mean, I think you go up.
But you're going to see your cellmate digging, and you're going to tell him, I'm coming with you, but you have to do all the digging. So basically, you get the escape and don't have to do any of the work.
Be in the top bunker?
Be in the top bunker. You're like the foreman of the escape digging.
I don't think so. I think you go, in the event that you go to prison,
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons,
Any reason.
you claim
Bottom bunk.
cell cave, bottom bunk.
Pass.
You still want to be top bunker.
Yeah, you haven't convinced me. I still think I feel better at my top bunk. I feel like a sense of freedom. Maybe it's the whole
Okay, now you're in prison.
claustrophobic, not claustrophobic thing.
Do you feel like you'd rather be paired with somebody who had a similar length sentence to you, or you'd rather have somebody who is maybe closer to getting out, so you'd get somebody new later on in your own bid?
No, because you get emotionally attached to your cellmate, and then they're gone.
That's how you become cellies.
So yeah, you're saying you want the same sentence,
Right, you want the same sentence, so you're just
similar
in
sentence.
it together. Right.
Yeah, sure. I think that's right. I don't want because we're basically both committing to a long haul relationship here.
There are very little outs.
It's
Yeah.
like as if there was a marriage, and it was no
I
longer
think it's
to-
worse
to
than a
death.
marriage because I mean the divorce rate. You can get a divorce. I don't know if you can divorce your cellie.
But if you had a marriage and your spouse
Shank.
was only required to stick around for 7 years, but you were around for 20, it'd be a little rocky.
That's the worst. Yeah.
So if you have
I am told that in some marriages, some people leave early, emotionally.
Yeah. And that's not a good situation.
Would you want to have a cellmate who's emotionally checked out from you? Or would you want somebody who is committed to you?
yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying.
I
They're
think
gonna
we're in
emotion-
agreement. We all want the same sentence.
If they're on their way out, unless you need someone on the outside. So you need someone who you can get close to you, and then
You're going to use your cellie for that?
on the outside, yeah, you need
It's
someone.
somebody who knows what you've been through.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of like your bunkmate from camp.
No, I got people on the outside. I got people on the inside. The two don't mix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm not going to use my cellie as my guy on the outside. I got somebody else for that.
Could be unreliable because he has a criminal record.
Yeah.
I don't
We're
want to.
talking about criminals here.
I mean, obviously, I have a criminal record of my own.
No judging.
I find myself in prison with you.
No judging.
Okay, now hypothetically, you come in, you've met your new roommate, you're setting up your space to the extent that you get to set up your space. Do you go both heads in bunks on the same end, or do you reverse it? Head to foot, head to foot.
Depends if they snore
I don't think it does.
or if
think
their feet smell.
I don't think it does. I think your distance from the smell is pretty significant there, so you're not going to have a smell issue. And I think that the snoring issue is not really going to be impacted one way or the other. But I do think I go the opposite of whatever the other bunk is.
Go opposite of the bunk.
Yeah.
So
And the
if
reason I do that is so that I can either pop if I'm a bottom, I pop my head out and I can look at the guy for a conversation. Or if I'm a top, I can just lean down and see the guy's face.
you can see. So
Yeah.
it's from a communication standpoint,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
easier,
I think so.
less intimate. If
Yeah,
you're
because
going-
it's not like
you're
we're
leaning over, you're
really
both
close
leaning
to
out.
each other. Yeah, which would be awkward. I mean, there's enough awkwardness as a cellie anyhow.
All right. How long, when you went to prison, do you think it would be before you'd, do you think you'd go in and be like, all of my personal privacy issues are out the window and I'm just going to have to get used to open cell, cop, and a squat?
No, I think my body would shut down for a while. I think I could possibly like mentally shut it down for a week at least.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
But then once you're in,
I mean, yeah, no pooping for a week.
yeah.
But then
Eventually, it's going to happen whether you. It's probably going to happen while you're in that bunk bed in the middle of the night.
I mean, because I haven't gone in a week,
Right.
and I have a big, suddenly they're feeding me enemas at the clinic.
I don't think the prison gets involved in the bowel habits.
Really?
I don't think so. Not unless your bunkmate reports you. Says the guy's been here for a week. I haven't seen him on the toilet one time.
I think if you have a long sentence, you're going to go in there from the get-go and just...
Get cool with it.
Yeah, you're just going to understand this is it.
Yeah.
Not pooping for a week is not going to really be worth...
No, I'm
the
just
agony.
saying, I think it would, I'm not doing it on purpose. I just think my body would shut it down mentally. And then I think
there has to be an adjustment. Well, so let's keep in mind, you've probably already gone through the adjustment period while awaiting trial.
oh, good point.
You've probably had some
Time in jail.
captivity, incarceration experience.
So like when you're at home, you would just leave the door open and do things to prepare yourself for...
I'm assuming if I'm going to prison, I've committed a crime that I'm not getting bail for. So I've been, since they got me.
You're in prison,
I've been
not
awaiting.
jail.
I've been awaiting trial.
Yeah.
So that's your standard. If you're going to commit a crime, you want it to be one that's going to send you to prison.
I prefer not to commit a crime.
Or go to prison.
I'm just saying it for the purposes of our hypothetical here. I'm assuming arrest, continuous incarceration.
When I was in Boston, they had this awesome prison that was right on the water, and it was an awesome views out of this prison. It was super great. Like all of each cell had a little window that overlooked the waterfront. Yeah.
Now, was the window too high for them to actually look out of?
No. Super nice. If you're going to go to prison, Boston's not a bad place to do it.
Well, so that's an interesting perspective because a lot of times prisons are put in desolate places.
Yes.
They should really locate prisons near where crimes are being committed. You shouldn't have to have additional travel. A lot of times people want to
Seems dangerous.
prisoners away from society
Right.
and put them someplace.
And you say no, keep them in society or keep them close.
I think that there should be some awareness of a motivation to get back productively into society.
Oh, by being surrounded by society.
People live in their lives.
Okay.
Right? I think
So
you isolate
you should have
and
prisons-
you treat like, monsters, you wind up with more monsters.
So you have the prison right in the middle of the mall with glass walls, so they basically see
Hang on a
everything happening
second.
around.
No,
them.
that's the smoking room. That's what they call the smoking room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may have just solved the commercial
Real estate issue.
real estate crisis because every community has a mall that could be totally turned into a prison.
That's a good point. You're surrounded by the big parking lot. You have a nice
Big
little
parking lot?
Yeah. That big parking lot allows for a nice,
Food court probably easily turned into a mess hall.
totally.
And the great thing is, it probably wouldn't happen if you basically told people, if you stop going to those stores, we're going to replace it with a prison. Suddenly people are going to the big lots.
Might not be enough. I think there will come a time when the last store in the mall is going to be a Spencer's Gifts. They were there when I was a kid. They're still there now.
Yeah.
It might even be in the prison.
And you don't know what they're selling
Be the
anymore.
commissary.
Like,
They're selling all the same kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think kids are still interested in that stuff anymore. Like,
No.
I'm pretty sure not even close.
No.
I still don't even want to go into the far back of the store.
The illicit thrill of the back corner of the Spencer Gifts.
You kidding me?
What? That was adulthood back
Yeah.
there. What is this?
I'm talking about adult ad libs.
Adult ad libs.
Where you're literally walking by the things that have curse words on it.
Yeah.
You're not making direct eye contact. No.
Peripheral vision, baby.
Right. You're like, I'm pretty sure that says something bad.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Let's take another loop.
I think that T-shirt has boobies on it.
Dude, your mom's going to be here in like 45 minutes. We can walk around one more time.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
So,
Back to Spencer Gifts. At this point,
Interesting. I thought we were going back to prisons, but we're going back to Spencer Gifts. Okay.
could you walk into a Spencer's at this point?
yeah, I think I could confidently walk into a Spencer Gifts.
Could you find $100 worth of merchandise that you would be comfortable purchasing and wearing out of the store?
Ooh. That's a harder one. Really only because I'm not familiar with what's being sold in the Spencer Gifts right now.
Yeah, they got to have some T-shirts in there that are okay, right?
Something. They probably still sell posters.
There's probably a T-shirt that says "Vote Bendel." You want
Probably
to.
one of the last places where posters are available.
Oh yeah,
purchase.
posters. I think you probably get those any kind of like action figures.
Definitely
for video games.
blacklight. Definitely blacklight posters there.
Always a blacklight.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had those posters. Remember when we were in college where you could squint a little bit and a 3D image would come up through the poster? Like, whatever happened to those?
Why don't they ever have in like Law and Order, they just take the suspect into the back corner of Spencer Gifts where the blacklight is on.
Right.
And all the DNA on them pops up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need this fancy DNA flashlight.
We don't
Isn't
need
that
a
why you don't
CSI
go-
lab. I'll just come on. We're going to question you as we walk casually through the mall.
I just figured out the best scene for the next Paul Blart Mall Cop. he's like, don't
questioning.
worry, we've got a DNA room. And he goes back to Spencer's Gifts and hits him under the black
I'm
light.
going to question you back here.
Yeah.
This is the Spencers. That's
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
That's all right.
Hey, Jamie,
What's up, Adam?
what are you getting your wife for Christmas?
Something very thoughtful and expensive.
Oh, see, that's not the right answer. That's not what women want anymore.
Really?
You know what women really want? Let me tell you. They want stuff with their zip code on it. If they live in a fancy zip code, they want shirts, they want hats, they want earrings, they want ornaments.
I've seen a lot of people with the zip code earrings. Very popular.
Yeah, they're huge, but not as huge as our sponsor.
Tell me about our sponsor.
So our sponsor is called zipcodesonstuff.com. And while the local boutique store sells that stuff for $120 for that t-shirt, you can get the same quality shirt there for like $70.
Hey, Adam.
Hey,
What are
Jamie,
you getting your spouse for Christmas?
I'm getting my spouse something from zipcodesonstuff.com.
Can I suggest a stocking stuffer?
Ooh, what do they have for stocking stuffers?
Phone number on pillows.com.
We were doing a new ad. I'm sorry, I didn't realize we chopped one. I was like, how are we going to work this one
No,
back
it's two ads. It's back to back.
I've seen these, and they're really helpful for sometimes the older parents that have now forgotten and memories. A lot of kids these days don't even realize we used to have to know phone numbers.
So, Adam, if my wife wants to live in a different zip code, can I get her stuff with a different zip code?
See, that's the great part. A lot of times these boutique stores are only for your zip code. But let's say you live in Minnesota, but your mom just moved to St. Pete, Florida. Well, she doesn't want something from Minnesota on her pillow. No, she wants her St. Pete zip codes. So what you do is you get on zipcodesonstuff.com, and they'll put on the St. Pete zip code.
How do they do that?
You don't even have to live there. It's the
Hey.
internet. It's kind of everywhere. 90210 is not available at zipcodes.com and stuff.
Sheep, you get out there and you buy yourself a throw pillow with the numbers on it and stuff.
All right, welcome back to the BHHcast. Sheep, we got a special guest on the line.
All
Recap, if you're just joining the flock, Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, and Adam Haig. Bah.
All right, so when our guest on this episode is not selling millions of tons of his product, he is managing the career of Instagram and TikTok superstars with millions of followers. Some would say his clients were born for him to manage them. He's a man of many trades, hawking a product as dark as some of the souls he deals with in the city of angels. He's known to some as Michael, rosy to the ones who love him. Please welcome Michael Rozmajzl.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, buddy?
Rosie, I can't believe we got you.
Hey, that was a great introduction. I appreciate it. I'm surprised you guys didn't put the fan noise in like they do at the baseball games.
Oh, post
That
edit.
button.
Post edit.
We
Post
put
edit.
that in post edit. It'll be a crazy standing ovation sound.
And then we're going to have you saying, I'm surprised you didn't put the sound in, so that everyone's going to think you're dead. Yeah, so this is a big get, I think.
This is a great get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the guy. Yeah, he's bringing a lot to the table.
He has 7 daughters. 7, right?
Actually, 6 and a wife.
6 and a wife.
yeah,
7 women. I'm sorry.
paying
7
for
women
me.
in the house. 6 daughters, each of whom are more
Well, that
famous.
brings us to another special episode of the show where Rosie, meet your daughter. You have a 7th daughter. We'd like you to come on in. Meet Charisse.
It is a much, much better episode than 6 daughters for 7 husbands.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Back
so
to you.
six daughters, each of whom is more famous than any of the 4 of us on this podcast right now. Correct? Am I right about that?
Yeah, actually, I have one daughter that had more views than LeBron James on the NBA championship night.
Wow.
Really? What? Tell us about that. How'd that come about?
Yeah. Her name was Vika. She got kicked in the groin by her sister. She's one of those TikTokers. She got kicked in the groin by her sister, and apparently 6.5 million people enjoyed that, and only about 5.9 people enjoyed LeBron James winning the national championship.
Now, I have noticed that you are a bit of a prop in some of your daughter's videos.
Really?
Yeah, well, I think we all realize as fathers, and I think each one of us are proud fathers, but we all have a moral obligation to humiliate ourselves on social media for the benefit of our kids. And hopefully I get to see you guys out there someday enjoying the same humiliation that I do.
Well, I will tell you that I have been invited to participate in the TikToks of my children on numerous occasions, and thus far I've always resisted. But perhaps I'm limiting their potential growth as influencers.
You're limiting their growth. No, yeah, having a dad like you on that would be incredible. So, Rosie, explain to us. You have what's the range of daughters as far as age?
All right, I always mess this one up, and I get in trouble with the old lady. But the youngest is 14.
Okay,
she has a twin, identical twin. I can't tell them apart. The oldest is 23.
So, am I assuming?
And in between, we got an 8.
Is that other twin also 14?
16.
That's the part he messes up.
Yeah, 14 and maybe three seconds. 14, 3 seconds.
Do you want to record a couple versions of that answer with different ages, just in case we can edit it in later? If you tell us that was actually 15.
Well, you can call us back if you got it wrong. So it starts at 14, and the oldest is how old?
23.
Okay, man, and you have one set of twins, not more than one set of twins.
One set of twins. And the interesting part about having that many kids close together is at one point in time I had 4 in diapers.
Wow. What does Disney?
3 of them were kids. One was my wife.
Hey!
What does Disney look like to you guys? I mean, it must just be incredible. Like just
okay.
Doing
Let me tell you.
trip.
Okay, here's how I would do Disney. I don't know how Rosie did it. If I had 4 kids in diapers, I would take a 4-day trip to Disney, and each kid got 1 day.
I mean, that just makes sense.
And I'm buying 1 4-day pass.
Yeah, and you're rotating.
And I am rotating kids through.
I think that just makes sense.
I am not trying to manage multiple toddlers.
No,
there's not enough adults to handle teacups.
I thought you were talking about sharing diapers.
And do you leave the other 3 at home by themselves or in the hotel room to battle royale?
I'm assuming I'm leaving them with my spouse.
Oh, the spouse.
Me and the child. We are going to Disney. We're having a great time.
Yeah. And tomorrow, you know what we're going to do?
I'm going to Disney again with a different kid.
Have a great time.
I love this trip. You manage the other 3 in the Econo Lodge.
What are you guys doing? Oh, you're with 3 kids in a small hotel room? Enjoy that.
That sounds miserable. I'm going to Disney.
Rosie's crew is so large that every time he gets on a ride at Disney, the wait time changes.
Yeah, you probably could have stopped with just me getting on.
Yeah.
All right, but so talk to me about, though, because that is a fleet of children to manage. Were you guys 2 cars every place? Was it you got the 15-passenger church van going? Like, tell me how that size family moves through the world.
Well, at a younger age, when my kids used to listen to me, I could get them all into one car. We started out with Ford Excursion and then went over to the Nissan NV 3500 HDSL that had the 15 seats, the 14 beer holders, and a few outlets. Now that I don't have control of them, we usually take 3 to 4 cars wherever we go.
Yeah, you roll up like an FBI raid.
Yeah, basically it's a motorcade.
4 cars pulling
when
in.
The Rozmajzl will show up. Yeah, it's a motorcade. But so, Rosie, what is the boy situation, and how difficult? I mean, they must have a ton of suitors coming by. How is that handled? I mean, I know we joked about this many times, but how is that seriously handled? Do you have a methodology for vetting out gentlemen suitors, or how? Tell us how that works.
Well, it's funny you say that. I've got 3 extra guys in the house tonight. and and they all seem to be gentlemen. But my first, I think the first test is making certain that they're smaller than me, and that's not too hard.
Which is 95% of the world's
Yeah,
population.
welcome to the. So we haven't cut out a lot of.
Yeah.
The good news is that hasn't cut down
Yeah.
his daughter's selection point very
Right.
much at this cure.
It's a second part of the test that's a little bit harder. Is I have to be smarter than them. So now there's a lot more added back to the table.
Okay, pretty smart guy though.
Very smart guy. You're a little
You're
self-deprecating
being humble,
there, Rosie.
but yeah, you are an incredibly intelligent human
I
being.
want to know this.
I feel like he set us up to say that right there. I think
Yeah.
I think that was
He
maybe
he wanted that.
you will not. Oh, I bet they're gonna say I'm
That's
so
how he does
smart.
it. All right, I do have a legit question. Has there been any person whose name we would know that is sort of a famous type person who has proverbially slid into your daughter's DMs?
Actually, there have been, but a lot of them had the blue check mark next to them, which apparently means that
They're
there's
verified?
something special.
Well, they're verified. That means
Yeah,
they
my-
are who they are.
Yeah, there's been some professional athletes that we've been quick to get off.
Mhm.
Yeah, the most famous one that recently came in, though, interestingly, is Mark D'Amelio. The D'Amelios.
Oh, that's the
Parents.
isn't that like the top of the top when it
Yeah.
comes to TikTok? The D'Amelios are like the
Yeah, you know, I've tried the management thing, but I think I've told you guys before that it's harder to be a manager than it is to be a parent. Because as soon as I tell my kids something that makes sense, like how to write off certain expenses or how to form a company, they laugh at me and tell me to go F myself. So they don't really pay that much attention to me, unless I can yell at them and take away their keys and their cell phones. So I tried the management thing. It doesn't quite work, but I do vet the agents that come up to them and try to pitch them on these hype houses or pitch them on these what do you call them, reality television shows. And interestingly, they just got invited into one of those. I guess they call them content houses now.
oh
It's called the It's you may see them on television here pretty soon, and it's called something like Hype House Beverly Hills or something like that.
oh yeah,
Nice.
it's a big
So-
TikTok
Yeah.
thing.
So
yeah.
you've got these three guys, extra guys at your house right now. You want to bring them on? We can just vet them. We can go through an interview process. No,
I would love it.
Yeah, I think that's probably
that may be a bad idea.
Good conceptually. I do have a little. So if they make a Keeping Up with the Kardashians style show about your family, and you're unwilling to appear on camera, I'm totally down to be proxy, Rosie.
But isn't
Oh, to step in.
Yeah, I'll be.
There are some similarities.
Actually, I think what you could do just is Bendel. You know, the pandemic has treated Bendel well, right? So he could come on. He's ready for camera. If you have a scene where like the storyline goes to where you're getting a little sickly, I'll come in.
right behind?
Yeah, I'll be sickly Rosie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it'll be like a My Three Dads kind of twist on the
Totally.
Keeping Up kind of show.
Is that a new Rosie? He doesn't look as good
Yeah.
as the old
Well,
Rosie.
Is Adam going to be the Bruce Jenner?
Yeah, the non-decathlete one. Yeah.
So I think we've got to wrap it up here. Rosie, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you've been an incredible guest. I'm excited. We're gonna put the plug out for the Instagram. Not that they need it from us, but we'll make sure that it's on our website, and they can link through and see Rosie's daughters.
We may send them a BHHcast T-shirt
Yeah, we'll get
that
you
they
guys
could maybe wear.
a T-shirt that maybe you wear
Something.
out. I don't know. Maybe talk about
Yeah.
us 1,000
Do
times.
a couple of something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know specifically how that works.
Yeah.
Or if we're supposed to talk about it out loud, it
Maybe
feels a
listen
little-
to us at the Hype House, Beverly
Yeah.
Hills. I don't even know.
something.
I mean, even like the third most followed daughter. Like we don't even need,
Oh, I'm not
Oh,
talking.
you don't have
no,
to give
no.
us the best kid.
No.
I was
you-
talking about like the least followed twin.
Yeah.
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 Tell you what, you send me a flock T-shirt and a brown bag of cash, and I'll make certain that shirt gets worn.
We got you. We got you. We got plenty of brown bags of cash around here.
Plenty of brown bags of cash.
All right, so that's Rosie. Thanks for joining us.
Rosie,
Thanks,
it's
buddy.
been a pleasure talking with you, man.
All right. So that's our common friend, Rosie. We play hoops with him all the time. His kids are amazing. You should be following him. You probably are already following him.
Yes.
You joined our flock well after you joined theirs.
Yes.
So it's a different dynamic, right? Because you, as you were just saying, like,
It's a weird world where you can have 6 million people watching your kid do something. Well, they're also kind of creating this new economy thing too, where, content builders like them, be whatever the content is
turn content into money.
is turning it into money.
Yeah.
And it
Now-
also makes sense because they're getting more eyeballs than anybody else. Like NBC's not getting 6 million people to watch Will and Grace.
Well, certain things, and it's what we're doing.
yeah.
I mean, we're turning this content into brown bags of cash.
Yeah. Brown bags of cash. Lots
baby.
of them.
I don't know if we've picked a name for the LLC yet, but I might go with brown bags of cash.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Rosie was asking for brown bags of cash from us.
No.
I don't know. Don't get into the details.
Yeah,
you're
that's-
so worried about all the specifics.
As long as there's brown bags of cash, that's all that matters.
I don't even think we should be mentioning it as much as we are.
Yeah,
I
now
think
now it feels like we've said
a
it
bit
too much.
awkward and a little bit skeezy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Right?
Why don't we go ahead
Is
and
it
go to
my fault that my friend has daughters who are wildly successful who might want to wear a T-shirt that has something that's related to me on it? I shouldn't be embarrassed about that.
No, I'm not embarrassed about it.
not.
And if it results in brown bags, I don't care.
Hey, Chief, don't wander too far. Coming up next, comic guest Natty Bumpercar.
Hey, Adam, have you ever found yourself on a podcast with a narrator that has far too good a commercial radio voice?
Oh my God. Are you serious? Because we're talking about Jamie now, right?
We're talking about Bendel, yeah.
Yeah. He has a crazy good voice.
Don't you think that we need to replace him to make you and me look better?
Honestly, that's what I thought you were supposed to be doing in the editing. He sounds really great, and you and I sound like frickin' Donald Duck.
So what are we going to do about that, Adam?
I was hoping you would fix it in the post.
What if there was a store to find mediocre podcast hosts?
Oh my God, are you serious right now?
I'm serious, Adam.
Because are we the mediocre podcast hosts that they're going to replace, or is it Jamie? What are we talking about?
No. We need a mediocre podcast host to replace Jamie so that we elevate our own appeal.
I love this idea. How do I find a mediocre host?
You go to mediocrehost.com.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to get rid of Bendel and get myself a mediocre podcast host.
If you need a mediocre podcast host, go to mediocrehost.com. Not a real product.
Hey, sheep, you get over there and you buy yourself a host.
Hello.
Hello.
Ooh, this is a weird voice.
Yeah,
What's that?
well, I'm the other Jamie. I'm not the
Oh,
Jamie.
I didn't realize.
Oh, wait, I was always the other Jamie, but now you're the other
I'm
Jamie.
the other Jamie. You're the actual Jamie.
Progress.
There's so many Jamies.
Congratulations.
It's like a nightmare.
Congratulations, Jamie, on becoming the Jamie.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
So Natty Bumpercar, this is the podcast with Jamie and Jamie. And
There's two Jamies on the podcast. So, we're just introducing each other.
But there's me too. I'm the third guy. You guys.
The non-Jamie.
non-Jamie.
Yeah,
There's
it
a
seems kind
non-Jamie.
of like Jamie squared and the other guy.
And Adam. Yeah.
Oh,
Adam gets equal billing, but it's,
I don't think I do get equal billing. This is becoming a thing.
No, in the context of, guest introduction.
It seems to me like there's a lot of Jamie and Jamie, not a lot of
Yeah.
Adam.
I think in fairness, when you call your friend named Jamie, you assume that the voice that you're going to hear is from the actual Jamie that you know, not by
Yes.
coincidence, a different Jamie.
There.
especially when the phone says it's Jamie calling.
Jamie calling.
Solid point.
Right.
I retract my objection.
hmm Do you have any Adams?
Adam-
Do you have any
Adam, are
Adam?
you like a producer or something? I don't understand.
Yes.
No.
He is the
Yeah,
producer.
He's actually in the other room.
I'm the talent of
He's
this
the
stupid
producer.
thing.
Isn't that what every producer says?
He is the
It
producer.
feels like it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
hmm
Wow.
Actually, kind of in keeping with the original Adam. From a biblical standpoint, he was really just a producer,
Wait a minute.
doing all the work.
Did they produce anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys,
there's
my
some-
boss totally wants a rib to make a person for tomorrow. I can't meet you.
Yeah.
You're
Can
gonna
you
give.
take a day off for that?
I would assume there were not a lot of days around at that time, right? That would be probably very loosey-goosey personal leave policies.
I think it's like the kind of COVID workplace right now, where it's like you kind of work, but kind of not. So, yeah, Garden of Eden was pretty slick.
Wait a minute. If your job, so hang on a second. And again, I'm not clear on all the details. Jamie can fill us in on them specifically, but I think Adam's kind of main job was naming everything, right?
Yeah, I mean that was definitely one of the big things.
He's like, that's a goat.
Right, that's your only job is to walk around and name stuff.
Yeah,
which is a killer gig.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
That would be the best job, particularly when you're all by yourself. Like there's no committee, there's no workshop, there's no meeting to discuss what are the physical characteristics of this thing.
I was reading today about a spirits buyer, like someone who buys alcohol for the wine stores.
Oh, because you just
and I was
literally
like, that's
sounded like the setup for the devil.
No, right. So I was like, that's the greatest job ever.
Yeah. Spirit buyer.
Yeah. Does he hang out with the day vampires?
Yeah. Oh, very funny. All right.
I might make a
It's
business
almost
card.
as if you guys, we have a guest, and I know that you like to forget about everybody who's not Jamie and Jamie. But we do have a guest tonight, and maybe we should talk a little bit.
So let's reset the guest.
All right.
Natty, we're going to set this up like we're just picking you up on the phone, and we're going to...
Wait, none of that was recorded?
No, it's all recorded. We're all going to record it. Adam's going to fix it in post.
We've actually been recording through your phone for the last 30 minutes. So
I don't fix shit. I'm the fucking talent.
All right, so this is the BHHcast. It is Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam Haig always gets the equal billing. Welcome back, Flock. We have a guest on the phone, comedian Natty Bumpercar. Natty, welcome to the BHHcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This is the thrill of my evening at least. It's very exciting.
I appreciate that you're expansive enough in your gratitude for participating this evening to include all parts of the evening. You could have even tightened it up and said, this is the best thing I've done within the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, but we got the whole evening.
We get the entire evening, and that's including dinner with my family, taking a shower, walking the dog, and crying a little bit. But
I'm sitting up a little taller.
Hang on a second. Yeah. Were you crying earlier tonight?
Let's get into that.
Is there something you want to talk about?
Well, I started crying when Jamie called me and asked me if I wanted to be on his podcast, and it just brought it was like a Band-Aid being ripped off, you understand, and just the wounds that are there, pain, the emotional pain.
No, I get that. Trust me, dealing with these guys, I understand the emotional pain.
Is there a doll we should have overnighted where you could show us where you were hurt?
No, it was in my soul, deep in my soul.
Oh,
yeah.
Right at the heart.
Right at the heart.
Where the heart used to be.
You got me in the feelies. You got me in the feelies.
Oh, right in the feelies?
Right in the feelies.
No, don't cry. See, now you're crying. Oh, I'm a terrible comedian.
Okay, so listen. Do you find that you cry most days?
Only the days that end. Hold on. How does that go?
Only the days that end and why?
That's the yeah. I know. I'm terrible at letters, numbers.
Oh,
I'm not
I thought
so
you were
good
going
at
to say memes.
I have a friend who he called them memes, and he was serious. And it was really hard for me to hold back telling him how dumb he was. But
I saw this great meme the other day.
Yes,
May.
Yeah,
there should be a meme of that.
We're gonna put a meme on the site. What? Why would you say meme? No, what? Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So we talked about this on an earlier episode of owning mistakes, and I have acknowledged that I've owned name mistakes well past when I should have, and I feel like that person should always call them memes.
Yeah.
And make it feel like a person who calls them memes is wrong. To be like, what did you just call it a meme?
Yeah.
What is your problem?
What's a meme? The word
next thing you're gonna
meme.
Next thing you're gonna tell me
meme.
it's a GIF.
He's actually on another podcast right now talking about you, saying, I've got this friend, and he calls them memes.
So I don't know if you guys have children, but it's a very they're small and they say stupid things. You really have to come to a point where you're like, that's adorable. I kind of want to keep him doing it forever, but I don't want him to be a social outcast. So one of my kids, he called pianos paninos, and I was just like, yeah, that's a panino. Do you guys see that panino? Like, we started using panino because it's so much better than piano. Like,
I could get behind panino.
I'm actually, I just heard it a second ago, and I'm kind of in love with it.
Yeah.
We had a previous guest who was an excellent paninoist.
Paninoist.
Yes.
Paninoist.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paninotizer?
It's more comfortable than saying pianist.
Yeah, pianist, we're rocking.
Yeah.
We're walking a fine line there.
Not a fan of pianist. No.
So, how old is your child with the speech impediment?
Yeah. He's 17. No, how old is that one? He's the younger one. I'm going to go 7.
Okay.
I'm going to pull that out of the air.
I have 3 daughters, all of whom kind of were what I like to call slushy mouthed. And you can see where they get it from. Where they kind of had problems with sounds when they were younger, and I could hear it. And I would say to my wife all the time, I'd be like, the kids have a problem saying these words. Like, this is not how you're supposed to speak. And she'd be like, that's fine. They're kids. It's adorable. And I'm like, no, this is going to plague them.
My daughter, when she was young, when she would say the word frog, it came out as a clear as day F-bomb. So, of course, I was constantly asking her to say frog in every social setting I could get into, because then this 3-year-old kid is dropping F-bombs all over the place. But there's a point.
But you're not allowed to.
How do you get an F-bomb from frog?
I don't know,
right?
but I've got videos galore of it.
It's a fuck. It's a fuck.
Oh, I got you. You drop the R. You drop the R and you go Boston A.
Yeah.
Said
the fuck.
Is that what a soft R is?
Silent R.
Silent R.
Silent R. It's not just soft. It's silent.
So it was Kermit the...
Fuck.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you should hear her say toad.
The great thing is we don't even need the explicit tag on this episode because we're just saying frog.
It's just saying frog.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
lots and lots of, frogs.
Fox.
Frogs.
Fox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we're going Fox, my other kid, the older one, when he was a tiny, we were at a stoplight, and we live in New Jersey, and there was a fox right next to us, walking down the sidewalk as fox.
Probably rabid.
Probably not a rabbit, but a fox. I know what you said. I'm kidding. And my kid said, "Daddy, a box." And I was like, "What's that?" He's like, a box. And I looked at him, I was like, "Oh, that's a fox." And he was adamant and got very angry and furious that we were trying to correct him, fox or box to fox. And eventually I just let it go. If he was going to fight it, if he believed in it that much, I was going to give it to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Own it. Mm-hmm. To your earlier point.
And then once he learned how to read, did you bring home the Disney classic, The Box and Hound?
That also is a movie that you'd find in the back of the video store.
Oh.
Boo.
Dropping in reference to, you got to listen to all the episodes to find the Easter eggs.
That's right.
That Jamie leaves hidden in individual episodes.
Okay, maybe it's in the back of
Box and Hound, conveniently located next to Flesh Gordon.
In the back of Spencer's Gifts.
Spencer's Gifts and Novelties.
Does Spencer still exist?
Yeah, it does. Apparently, you've never been to a mall. That's how you check whether or not people have been to a mall.
That's how you can check it's a real mall.
Yeah.
If you're referring to their website, do you have to call it Spencer GIFs?
Wow.
Oof. That's a new low point in the podcast right there.
Guys, this has been great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I think that would be such an amazing concept for a bit where the guest ends the interview early.
Yes. Thanks for having me. Good night, everybody.
Listen, I have loved being a part of your show.
That's all the time you have for me.
This is all the time I have for you.
Yeah, Jamie, that was a good turn of phrase. I like that. This is all the time you have for me. Have a good night.
So what's on your business card, Natty Bumpercar?
Yeah, we have a series where we ask our guests these 3 important questions.
Yeah.
The first one is, what's on your bumper card?
What does it say on your on your business card?
Yeah.
So it says Natty Bumpercar, the king of the elephants, the artful otter, the doer of things, and the maker of stuff.
Wow.
I know.
That's an incredible card, man. Well done.
Sounds like 3x5.
It's got to be a two-sided card. Like that wraps around to the. Does it say like see other side as you get to the end and then it moves around to the back?
No, the other side has a picture of a frog. Sorry. Did you hear? I don't know if I work clean, so I got very nervous that I was even coming. Like I'm going to be scared saying the word frog now that I might say it wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got very, very tense when I was about to say it, and I was like,
frog.
Yeah.
You're just saying frog, bro. You're just saying frog. No, but even now I say frog, and it doesn't feel good.
There was a missed opportunity that Jamie had, and I'm assuming his child was alive during the internet era, where he could have recorded his kid reading The Adventures of Frog and Toad. And it would have been epic.
Fuck a toad.
Yeah. Fox says, "You're my friend."
She's 16. She's 16 now. She'd read it and happily say it that way.
She would happily say it that way.
Yeah.
That would have been. You should do that. You should find another kid. You should.
Yeah. Just make another one. It's very easy.
I'm going to get a video. I shouldn't say this because she'll end up doing it, but I'm going to get a video of me asking her to say frog, and she drops the F-bomb. And then I'm going to have her now, and I'm going to say frog, and she's just going to say F you. Like she's just going to.
So she's still saying it, was what you're saying.
Yeah, this got sad. This got really sad all of a sudden.
Yeah.
This got real. Gosh.
Wait till we get to question number 2.
Mm-hmm. He's going to put a Jim Croce song under this.
Natty Bumpercar, you have made 2 of the 3 hosts cry so far during this interview.
You're about to win a teddy bear. Somebody's winning a teddy bear.
If you're willing to give back your teddy bear and you can make the other Jamie cry, you could win the grand prize.
Bigger teddy bear. All right, so that's what your business card says. Here's where, are you familiar with the concept of a meat and 3 style restaurant?
Wow.
Yeah.
New Jersey is familiar with the meat and 3. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Georgia. Come on.
Okay, there we go.
All right, so meat and 3. My thing of this, and we've talked about it here on the show, the meat is the organizing principle of your life. What is the tentpole of philosophy that you organize the rest of it around? What is the meat for you?
Wow. This is a very difficult question, especially because we were talking about restaurants and food, and I was like, is he going to ask me what my meat is? But I thought it was going to be in the literal sense. What is my meat? I think my meat is imagination, which is a weird thing.
Not a weird thing. That's a great meat.
Okay. Yeah. That's how I kind of get through the world. I think humor and imagination.
Okay. Now, the 3. What are if somebody was to speak to the attributes that you'd like identifiable with you? What are the things that are most identifiable with you?
I would say, and I don't always love it, but wacky, tangential, and aloof.
Aloof.
I
love
know.
aloof.
I don't even know if that one fits, but it popped into my brain, and I wanted to see how it sounded when I said
It's actually a perfect pairing with imagination.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, you would never have like aloof with deliberate.
And I don't think you rarely have aloof and wacky, which is tells you a lot about the person.
I think wacky is always accompanied by aloof.
Oh, interesting. You think that they're always together?
I think wacky and aloof are cousins.
Interesting.
And wacky may not actually be wacky. It just may be a lot of imagination.
Right.
Okay.
That's not true. I think you can be a completely unimaginative, wacky person.
You could perceive someone as wacky because you don't have the imagination to understand what they're doing.
It's not necessary to point at me while you're actually
Yeah,
saying
that
those
seemed a
things.
little
that seems
violent.
hyper aggressive.
It came across aggressive.
Did you feel
It
that?
sounded aggressive in New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how aggressive that was.
Yeah.
Jamie, I'm supposed to make him cry, not you. God.
I was trying to get you that bear.
Yeah, you can't win him a teddy bear. He's got to win his own dang teddy bear.
Yeah.
All right, so you've made reference to your children earlier. What is? Give us a dad brag.
This is your third category.
Third part, dad brag. What's something that you would unashamedly?
Anything you just want to be proud about your kids and want to talk about.
So 50% of my children like me.
That's a pretty good ratio.
That gets you in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean that I'm 1 for 2 right now, which is a good batting average.
That seems low, actually. Now, when you say it that way.
Yeah, when it's
Back
only
it was
2 kids. I thought it was like 10 kids.
I seemed like it was
Oh,
higher.
no, it's just 2. There's just 2 of them.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah. Sorry if does that make you sad? I mean, you have 3 daughters. Daughters are full of love.
It's your brag. I mean, it's your thing. And if you feel like before either of them were born, and I'm assuming it's the second one that likes you, not the first, that's why you had a second.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you have a kid clearly doesn't like you. I think my plan would be, I'm going to have more kids.
Right. You just
Yeah.
Do you keep them separate so the one who doesn't like you doesn't taint the other one?
No.
Turn them against you?
I'm going to hope that, well, first, I'm betting on nature, not nurture. Because if I feel like I had one didn't like me, and I was involved in one, I would feel like I had a hand in the dislike.
You see, I think if your philosophy is the first child didn't like me, I'm going to create more humans, then you're not really introspective at all. Like, you haven't looked at yourself and said, maybe it's me.
Yeah, he just said nature, not nurture.
Yeah.
Like the child was born hating him.
Yeah,
It
that's
can't possibly be
Can't
him.
possibly be you.
Like,
honey, we need to make more human beings because this one doesn't like me. And clearly, if I roll the dice, I'm probably going to get a kid that likes me.
How is this kid so stupid?
heads or
He
tails.
doesn't like me.
It's heads or tails.
I'm assuming it's all came from her, right? We just need to.
Yeah, she doesn't like you. The
So
first kid
here's,
doesn't like you.
I have I guess you would call a bit about this. Would you like for me to throw it
Well,
at you?
no. We have a very hard and fast, no working bit rule on this show.
But we do have
We have a little bit of a segment that's called Guess What's in the Wrapper. Which we don't get to play every episode, but we do get to play.
We kind of do get to play every.
Oh Jesus! I'm
What
sorry.
noise did Adam make?
We play 2 different games. One is that cough contagious?
The answer to that question is always yes.
It's always, yeah. And then the second is what's in the wrapper. No, we do a thing that we like to. The concept is broken bits, right? So every comedian has things that work. We all know the bits that work. But what are the things that we cling to that are bits that don't quite work the way we want them to, but we love them anyway? We kind of want to explore that bit more than
We
the
want
bit
to
that
hear
works.
about that bit that you have that isn't hitting like you thought it would, but you kind of you continue to try and work it a little bit.
And you know it's going to work. It just hasn't gotten there yet.
Interesting. Are we at that segment right
Yeah,
now?
yeah, we're in
now.
it.
Yeah,
It's already
here we are.
started.
I didn't know if there was gonna be a noise or a bell
Nope.
or some sort.
No, we had it after.
We had the wrapper thing where I was taking out a piece of candy. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I have bits about my kids, about my dog, about. I'm trying to think of one.
Is there one that you think is funny, but it hasn't seemed to like land?
Yeah, I understand.
Like it's just so close.
It's just so close. I don't know. And Jamie, you even warned me of this, and I had it in my head, but I've been talking to you guys for a while, and my brain has gone aflutter.
Well, I'll give you an example. Like I've got my Ross Perot material that just I can't seem to get that to to really land right now. But
You should give up that material.
Yeah, it's time to let that go.
One, because I think he's dead. And the only reason I don't know if whether he's actually alive or dead is because it's been 20 years since anybody's considered the question whether Ross Perot is alive.
Yeah, because nobody cares.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming his family and the people who vote for him and whatever.
there
And I
are
read his
some
book,
people.
and he was pretty impressive as a business person, less impressive as a political candidate.
well, I really appreciate you guys helping me get that working. That was great. Thank you.
I have a couple of probably old Ross Perot jokes in my joke book because I was telling jokes in a Ross Perot era, but I've stopped.
Now, I remember when Jamie actually did the Ross Perot jokes in Athens, Georgia, as a member of the UGA Stand-Up Comedy Club. And he would go up on stage with a newspaper, I think. And
I think the Ross Perot joke actually came because there was not a lot of preparation in my material. I think as I was walking up, there was a TV on the bar, and I saw Ross Perot on the TV. And so I started then talking about Ross Perot, which also explains why I'm not a professional stand-up comedian.
Camilla Harris might have pulled from Ross Perot. Wasn't
Camilla
Camilla,
Harris?
is it?
What is- I
Kamala
was
Harris'
gonna
sister?
say.
Kamala
Who
Harris?
is Camilla Harris?
Sorry.
Oh, my.
Sorry. We got
Only
our
mistake.
guest-
You can never change
Yeah,
from the
Camilla
pronunciation of her
Harris.
name. Yeah.
Camilla Harris.
You don't
Please
know-
welcome our next guest, David Perdue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not nice.
Here's the guy who created the Camilla Harris meme.
Kamala Harris. She kind of stole a Ross Perot, wasn't his big thing. Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish? And she now is. I was speaking. I was speaking. I was speaking.
I feel like if I could have worked Can I Finish into a good joke with Ross Perot.
We've
Probably
spent
not.
a lot of time on Ross
Yeah,
Perot.
I'm
This is
sorry.
more time.
I'm just
This
giving Natty Bumpercar some time to come up with
Yeah.
this bit. Your broken bit.
Oh, no, I'm there.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to you.
Thrilled that we were still on Ross Perot.
Yeah.
Okay, the bit is where I say something about how I have to go. I can't remember how it starts exactly, but when I go home, I always like to check on my children, and it's mostly to make sure that my wife hasn't taken them and left the house while I'm out here doing comedy. But when I open the door, my youngest child, he has a horrific thing that he does where he poops in his sleep. Anybody else in the crowd? And then they're all like, ha, ha, ha. And maybe I sometimes I'll have a lady look at a guy or something. I'll be like, oh, you poop in your sleep. Perfect. You'll get this. And then I say, he was 3 at the time. And I say, so I have to pick him up in his footy pajamas, and I scoop him up and I take him into the changing room.
I like the bit. I'm just going to check on my kids, and everyone thinks you're a good dad, but you're really just trying to make sure that they haven't left you.
So that's a great opener. The wife
Conceptually
hasn't taken
very
them.
solid.
Yeah, they go in to find the kid who poops. I think it would be great if it turns out because right away you're just like, okay, is this an infant or is it? And then I think if the like it might be kind of funny if it turns out to be like.
So here's where
much
my
older
own
child.
life differs from the bit being discussed.
Yeah.
I have never checked on whether or not the children are there or not.
Wow.
When you get home?
Never.
You're there? Or
No. And mostly because my wife's car is usually in the driveway. So I'm thinking if they've escaped on foot. And they haven't
so
gone
they
far.
can't be far. They can't be far.
They can't be far. I didn't drive past them on the way into the neighborhood,
That's a good ad right there.
right?
Yeah.
I need not go upstairs.
right.
Yeah.
If they've gone far.
I will actually tell you that I was on the golf course one time, which is very rare, not a big golfer. My spouse calls me and tells me that my daughter, one of my daughters, has a dirty diaper. She's removed the dirty diaper. She has, all in her crib, and has gotten it all over herself, including on her pacifier.
No.
Yes, which is in her mouth.
No.
And she says, you need to come home.
Huh?
And I did. And I thought that it was semi-abusive to leave a kid in this state the entire time that I drove home from the golf course.
Was the pacifier still in the mouth?
Oh, yeah. And I have not kissed my daughter since.
That was the last time.
That was
you
the
kissed
last
her.
time. I was
Right.
like, I cannot get that picture out of my...
How old is she now?
She is 18.
18.
18.
And the last time you kissed her was 2?
Something in that ballpark.
Yeah, sure.
She thinks that I'm not affectionate, and I explained to her to say that I have a little PTSD around.
You ever tell her to watch her potty mouth?
And I've noticed, and I hate to say it, for all the things that are childproofed in life, diapers are not.
No.
Those suckers are easy to get off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy to get off.
I think getting to the pacifier is a challenge, though. That's a champion. That's a champion pooper right there.
No, she was dipping it like it was salsa. Like it was. She was just.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And was the diaper still left in the crib?
Oh no,
so
she
could go
hadn't.
back
No,
for
it was
seconds?
in. It was
You
just
ever
in
had
there.
a bad hummus?
It was like a bad hummus.
Yeah.
It was exactly. It was the worst hummus ever.
So Bendel is not only not kiss his daughter, but he also does not eat hummus.
No.
No, why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to explain to the server we have hummus and pita chips, and I'm like, you don't. You really don't.
You don't do that.
When
at
you've
all.
seen what I've seen, you don't do that.
So back to this bit, or this broken bit.
When I wrap it up, I say, and then another time he raised his hand and he said, this thing that will haunt me for the rest of my life. He said, Daddy, my poop smells like chocolate. And I say, so you know that, yeah, to the crowd, I say, so you guys know what that means, right? And sometimes they'll say little silly things, and I'll say, yeah, we're buying the wrong kind of chocolate in our house. Clearly.
That's a good land.
That's a good little reverse there, right at the last.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember now who I was having a conversation with today about how old. Oh, I must have been talking with you on the phone. I was talking with the other Jamie.
No. You were not talking with yourself.
Yeah, I was trying to.
You were talking with Jamie, who was talking with the other Jamie.
Who was talking with the other Jamie about dad brags, which we're going to get to here in just a second. But about being dad brags, about how impactful a day it is when your youngest child, for the last time, needs help wiping themselves.
Oh, that's a big day.
It's a huge day. It's like freedom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I realized there is potentially, as a child, the day when it's payback, and you have to do that for your parent. And I was joking with Jamie today on the phone. I said I should just randomly be like, "Hey girls, I need help," and I don't. But I'm like, I'm just practicing for when I'm old.
Yeah.
And I just want to hip you to the idea.
Which one comes first?
Who comes and actually helps?
I think it's the pacifier one.
Yeah.
If she walks in with the pacifier in hand.
Yeah, right. And I don't even remember the conversation that a kid makes with you when you're doing that, but they always seem chatty, and I'm like, I'd rather we don't make eye contact and don't talk to me.
And they lock eyes. Absolutely.
They lock in, right?
Yeah.
But the first one goes much longer. By the third child, they're screaming for you, and you're like, "You'll be fine. Figure it out."
Figure it out. Yeah. So
Figure it out.
anyway,
Oh, and then your daughter walks in the bathroom and she's like, "God, Dad, what'd you eat? Hummus?" I get a little callback.
this smells like Natty Bumpercar's chocolate. All right, so let's do dad brag.
We did dad.
Oh, we already did dad brag. Was that the dad brag?
Yeah. No, we hadn't dad brag.
We did dad. Well, we kind of cut it off because he said that half of his kids like him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I got so
it's a pretty
wrapped
good
up
one.
into the. I thought we were. All right.
And in baseball, that's Hall of Fame.
I did say that.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to participate with us today. Did we miss anything? Forget to ask you any questions?
Do I have anything to plug?
No, I was going to ask that last. That's the last one.
But technically,
Yeah.
he's right. We did miss that question.
No, that wasn't missed. It just wasn't asked yet.
Oh, well, I think you've covered a lot of ground with me. You didn't want me to make fun of Jamie or anything like that, or give you any dirt on his history.
Well, that's
Honestly,
actually all the time you have for us.
He's
Nat.
so far down already. Let's not make it any worse for the guy.
What do you have to plug?
Well, I have a nice weekly podcast called The Bumper Podcast, which is an absolute treat. And if you go to my website, nattybumpercar.com, I have all kinds of cartoons that I've made and web comics and whatnot. A lot of whatnot, a lot of hootenanny.
Ooh, hootenanny.
Hootenanny.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hootenanny.
That's an underused word.
No, I mean,
Couple of shit.
a lot of people have whatnots, but not everybody has hootenanny.
So, just go check out the fun, is what I would say.
Awesome.
What's the
Yeah,
plural?
that's
Of,
me.
what's the plural of loof?
Of aloof?
No, aloof. What's the plural of that? How many loofs? Is it a gaggle of loofs?
I don't think there is such a thing.
A loof is the singular of loof.
No, that's not right.
Did I not ask a question earlier and I got cut off for making an editing nightmare non sequitur?
Oh, I figured it was all shot when I re-racked the dad brag.
Oh, okay.
I assume that you were just going to make a Frankenstein on this whole segment to begin with. So
Natty Bumpercar, when you go to prison, are you top bunk or bottom?
No.
yes. Oh, we should do the top bunk, bottom bunk question. Although we have an official answer.
Yeah, we have the right answer. But if you were to go to prison and they were to introduce you to your cell, would you take the top bunk or the bottom bunk?
I'd absolutely take the top bump.
Yep. I mean, how many times do we have to hear it?
What is with the world full of top bunkers?
How many times do we have to hear it before you just get it through your head?
This is why he became the other Jamie.
Oh my gosh. You're
Yeah.
like a QAnon person. You're not living in reality.
I'm
Everyone is doing top bunk.
All right, so here's my question to you guys. Is your toilet paper and paper towels over or under?
I mean, it's over.
Because in one of these answers, you're a monster.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everybody's an over.
Yeah.
You got to be an over because there's horrible human beings that
Yeah.
are unders. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't care.
I would actually go one step further and say, if it's accessible to me to do so, and it's an under, I fix it.
Yeah.
I don't leave an under in the world.
No, that's a, yeah.
Are
You've
you
seen a
guys
tragedy.
are you guys all married or in relationships?
All married with kids.
Okay. So I'm married 15 years or something, and about 5 years into the marriage, I realized that I had married an under.
That's grounds for annulment, right?
What? No, it is actually. The church has recognized that.
Mm.
Yeah, the fights that it causes are not pleasant. And
She sticks with the under? She's actually adamant about that?
Is she okay with you leaving the seat up but just not being the over?
I'm just a little surprised that anyone would stay with the under. Like, I appreciate that she's being lazy and doesn't care, but to actually advocate for that position, my God.
and I switch it around, and I have found her switch it back.
She switches back?
Yeah, and I will say this: she's Irish.
I think you need to install another bathroom. I think you just need to have separate bathrooms completely. That
I think
just,
you actually, I'm going to go one step further. When you leave, you take the role.
Yeah, take your role with you.
Sure.
Wow.
I provide my own role.
Yeah, until you go
I like
over.
that.
You want to live in this underworld,
Yeah.
you find your own paper.
Now they are married, so could they just have two
How do you like that,
toilet
lassie?
paper holders there? One over, one under?
One his and this.
Right.
And that's what I would call them, his and this.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. You could have guests in there.
And that's true. And I went to a darker place when you said when you leave. I thought you meant when I actually leave.
When you leave the
toilet
marriage, you take the toilet paper. No, I meant leave the bathroom.
No, I meant, but I mean, if you're feeling as though that's a sticking point in a negotiation, to be like, listen, you can have an extra day with the kids in visitation. I'm taking the over paper.
I'm going to tell you upside on that. You tell any family court judge that I'm married to an under, he'll be like, okay,
Oh, petition
we're done
granted.
here.
Petition
We're
granted.
done here.
Your Honor, I've got charts. Hold on a second.
Whatever you need, son.
I never check on the kids when I come home, but she's an under.
I do
I
check on the
think that if that,
Children go to the father.
well, first of all, I'm very sorry to hear that you have that persistent issue in your marriage.
Yeah.
It's
And
all right.
And I do hope that at some point you're able to work
Guys,
it out.
it's really hard sometimes.
No,
I'm
I
crying
get it.
again.
No wonder you're crying.
Yeah.
I
You have
know.
to give the bear back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and clearly I blame the manufacturers of the dispensers because there really should only be one way to load the paper.
I thought of that too, and that was like I wanted to copyright that or something.
Yeah.
Like it should be like a Phillips head screw. There's only one way to put this thing on, and it's the right way,
That's right.
and it's over.
That's
Just
right.
makes sense. Just makes sense.
Or someday when you're in there and you're feeling like you have time to kill, just individually separate out the squares and leave them in a stack on the counter.
Oh no!
gone
You're a
crazy.
psychopath.
He's just take from the pile. Take from the pile.
Can you wipe with one square?
You can grab as many squares as you want, but you just,
But it's still just one square.
No, it's 3 squares at a minute.
multi-square.
Well, it's already triple ply,
they're
but
already
you can't
cut.
just have one, the square footage of one square.
They're already
You can't
cut,
figure
though.
out how big a space are you cleaning.
Well, with me, it's not.
You got a big area. You got. Appreciate you being here.
Learned a lot.
Participating. Learned a lot.
And you said everything there was to say.
Absolute treat, gentlemen. Thanks so much. It was nice to meet you.
It's been fun having you. Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for us. As always, we appreciate you listening to the show. For Jamie, and Adam,
We love our sheep.
shepherds are going to bed. Have at it, flock.
Good night, sheep.